And hello everybody, and this is gonna be MFC programming and about SendMessage and PostMessage. Is my video working now? Yes, I think it's working now. Is it working? Videos. Dun, 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 dun. So yes, it's sorry guys. Sorry, I was just setting up my video. Okay, and you can see me now also there. So yeah, this is about MFC programming. We are learning how to use SendMessage and PostMessage. So SendMessage and PostMessage. So how do we communicate between windows? That's the thing here. That Windows needs to send a message to another window, and so we're gonna have this kind of very simple example program to illustrate this. So I'm gonna create a couple of boxes, and when I'm clicking the box, then the button appears here, and when I click another box, and maybe an edit box appears here, and maybe it will send some information into these buttons and edit boxes. So we can see how to send messages and what is the benefit, what are the benefits between different methods of sending messages. Let's see how much I can do here. This is going to be live, so it's going to be a little bit slow process. Obviously I'm developing live, so I'm checking things online and stuff like that, so bear with me if you want to follow this. So let's start from the scratch. So this is an SDI project. I have a video how to create an SDI project, so you can look at that. And just a simple MFC SDI project. And so if I compile this, it's already like that. So the SDI project, this is SDI project. So let's first create those rectangles. Let's draw some rectangles. So I already have here a code how to draw a rectangle. This is just a very simple rectangle thing using the CDC. This is not focusing on graphics at all. We are focusing on the messages, so this doesn't matter how we draw them now. So I'm creating a pen. Let's create actually oh, there you are. There you are. Hello Reddit. Somebody's following me. Did you send me messages before? I remember. Oh, because people ask me the send message and post message. Many people ask, a couple of guys asked that how is this send message, post message. So this is very important. I'm gonna have very powerful points actually here. If you're doing Windows programming, MFC programming, this is gonna be very good, because I can give you some good hints here how to do things, when to do things, and what are the benefits. And okay, so as I said, I'm just using a rubbish way to draw. I don't care how I draw. The drawing is not important here, so I'm using the CDC, the old method. In a real life you would not actually use that probably, but okay, so we'll create a black pen. I don't like black pen. Let's create a blue pen. There was a blue pen. Let's create a blue pen. Do I need to name it blue? Yeah, was it you who asked that? I don't know who. Somebody asked me that, hey, I want to learn send message, post message. So now I'm doing it actually. So let's create a blue pen and solid one, and that's gonna be red, green, and blue. So blue is 255. Okay, and then put 200. and then we're gonna select that blue pen on a device context, and then we need to put back the old pen at the end. When we finished using the pen, we're gonna put the old pen old pen back. That's how we need to do it. Always put back the old pen, because the CDC doesn't like if you keep adding pens and you don't actually, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, selecting many objects might be a problem. Yes. Anyway, that's the thing here, that we need to put back the old pen. Okay, so there's a point. So this is gonna be the, okay, so this is the point of the rectangle we're gonna draw, and that's the size of the, let me just put point size. This is the size of the rectangle. Size, gosh, size of the rectangle, and this is the position of the rectangle. And so it's gonna be sorry, so we're gonna create a rectangle in that position, my rect. So this can, no, just rect, and this is gonna be the size of the rectangle, and then here we are drawing that rectangle, drawing the rectangle using this pen. So let's just draw this first. I'm gonna draw many of them in a moment, but yeah, there is the rectangle. Okay, so the idea is that I'm gonna make like 5 of these or 4 of these, and when I'm clicking this rectangle, then on the right hand side here we will put a button or edit box, and we will show some information there, like hello, or maybe first the click position maybe. So I'm clicking here, and I'm gonna put the button here, and the button text is the coordinate. Just a simple example like that. And then I press the other button and we will get an edit box here, and the edit box contains that coordinate, just to illustrate this messaging. So okay. So the next step is that we will need to create 5 of these rectangles. So we're gonna have a little bit different logic. So let's just go cracking now. So to put private here, let's create a, I don't like to use MFC arrays, by the way. I'm gonna use standard library arrays. I don't like MFC arrays or pointers or, you know, vectors. I don't like those. Maps, I don't like them. They are old classes. We're gonna use standard library everywhere if possible. So include, it's gonna be vector, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna be vector, isn't it? So vector, there you go, and then std vector. Okay, and the type of the vector, the elements in the vector will be, now this is an interesting question. So we're gonna have many of those, and what am I doing actually? Let me think. So we're gonna have like 5 rectangles, and we need to know. Yeah, we better. It's easiest to put them in a vector. We will soon see why, because it's easy to check if the mouse is hitting the rectangle. We will see soon why. Okay, and let's make it straight away a bit more complicated, or keep it simple or make it complicated. That's the point, isn't it? Maybe keep it simple first. Okay, I keep it simple first, and I will make it more complicated later. I'm just creating rectangles, simple as that. Okay, so let's create the rectangles, crect, and m member variable rectangles. Okay, rectangles. And now let's create the rectangles. We need to go here. Let's create some helper functions here. void. How do we create those rectangles? Maybe I create a function called create rectangles. Maybe they are not rectangles actually. It's a kind of strange name. We should call them like, I don't know, labels or something else, but rectangle, kind of strange name, rectangles. They should be called like labels or something, or okay, keep it rectangle. Easy to change the names later on if changing the mind. So I'm gonna put it here. Let's create the rectangles here, and okay. So let's create maybe five rectangles. So I'm gonna have a for loop here for int I go from 0 to I is less than 5, and then I plus plus, and so now how we're gonna create the rectangles, right? So let's start cracking. So so the way to do is I just do it like this first. So rectangle. So rectangle. Okay, the left is always gonna be the same. The left of the rectangle is gonna be let's put it here. Let's say like 50 pixels. The top. The top. Let's put here const int top left. No, top position. Actually point. C point top left. Okay, so this is top left of this rectangle group. Top left of the group top left. Okay, and that's gonna be 50x, and let's say 10y. Okay, so that's gonna be the top left. So actually this is gonna be now the x. Left is x, yeah. And now so what is gonna be the top? Okay, so now we need to calculate something. So that's gonna be the top. So now we need to create space. We need to create space between the rectangles. So I'm gonna put here int space. It's gonna be vertical space, isn't it? Vertical. Yeah, vertical space. And that's gonna be let's say 5 pixels. Okay, so how do we calculate the top then? So the top will be the group top left y. And now, okay, now we need to also we need to decide the size of the rectangles, right? Okay, so let's go for that. So one more, C size. Yeah, we need to always first define the parameters, isn't it? So that's gonna be size rectangle. Okay, and that's gonna be, we already have it here, so it's gonna be this one. This looks good, 150. Okay. Okay, so now we have everything here. It's gonna be top is gonna be y. Well, is this super difficult to understand this one? So it's gonna be, so it's like a, so if there's a, so there is the first button here. Okay, there's a second button, second rectangle, there's the third, and so on. So there is the space, that's the space, that's the width. So and this is the XY top left corner. So okay, so the top will be y plus y plus I times width, so the width of the rectangle, so cy. So depending how many rectangles we so far have done, so and then plus the space, vertical space, so it's gonna be oh, it's a little bit wider. Okay, so it's gonna be, and then the space between the vertical space, so that's gonna be again I times vertical space. So let's see now one more time. So it will be the y. Well, it starts from 0, so on the first round all of this is 0, so it's gonna be correct here, right? On the second round we should be here, right? So we should have one of these and one of the space. Okay, so let's see. So it's when I is 1, we get 1 times y plus, yeah, that works. Yeah. Okay, so now rect right will be that's simple. It's gonna be the size of the rectangle, which is the x. Yeah, and then lastly left, top, right, and the bottom. Well, the bottom is simply gonna be the top plus the height, isn't it? So it's gonna be the top, bottom. So bottom is gonna be it's gonna be the top of the rectangle plus the height of the rectangle, which is the size of the rectangle, cy. Okay, so let's see if this works now. So I think it's like that. And what else? Yeah, so we created the rectangle. Now we need to add that rectangle into the vector. So at the end here, add it to the vector. So push back, and then let's add the rectangle there into the vector. Okay. Sorry. So okay, so now let's create the rectangles. We can create the rectangles in a construction function actually here. Okay, because there's no Windows related stuff here. It's simple data, simple integers and stuff. So okay, that's done. And now in a drawing function we need to now draw all those rectangles. So let's go quickly and create a, let's create a draw rectangles. Okay, draw rectangles. Always create a new function for each section. So let's just now draw all of them. We already know how to draw. We just need to do 5 of them now. So actually, okay. One thing, by the way, when I'm doing C++ outside MFC, I use uppercase. Sorry, I use like this, lowercase d. But now I'm thinking that because MFC is using the uppercase here, right? You see, to be consistent with the MFC, I compromise my will, and I will actually put it upper, because I think it's better to have same style than MFC here. Yeah, so I actually do like this now. So it looks similar to the MFC functions. Okay, so but if I create my own class, I would probably use actually lowercase. But if I'm doing stuff here, let me put uppercase. Oh, hello. Oh, Same. Did you message me, Same? You messaged me before, isn't it? Or was it somebody else? I remember somebody messaged me before. Okay, so let me put now this stuff. So this drawing code, I'm gonna cut it and put it here now. So okay, so now we need to. May I ask, what is MFC? Is Windows programming. It's Windows programming. You can create. You will soon see. You will soon see. I will run this soon. It's creating Windows programming like forms and buttons and Windows, and I will run this in a moment so you can see. So I'm passing now this device context to this function. Yeah, that's what it is. Microsoft Foundation class. So it's making the Windows programming easier. Yeah. It's easy way to do Windows programming. Well, people disagree. People argue about that. I don't care what people say about. They say that it's an old Windows programming. Don't use it. Blah blah blah. It's a horrible. Just go and Google. It's a horrible. Yeah, I'm finished. How do you know? Yeah. So people say that MFC is horrible. Now I'm going to sideways now, but. They say MFC is horrible. I don't care what people say, okay? I don't care. I've been using this 25 years. No, it's not horrible. Come on, man. Come on, man. Give me a break. Come on, man. It's not horrible. MFC is really good. No. Widget is difficult. First of all, widget is difficult to use. Secondly, how do you use... how to use widget here? You can't use widget in Visual Studio. Visual Studio is the best IDE. Okay, this one here. This is the best IDE in the world. So one of the best. If you use widgets, how are you gonna debug it? How are you gonna run it? I don't know. Actually, can you put it here? Because if you use WX widgets, you're gonna use the code blocks or something like that. Actually, I'm not sure if you can run it properly here. Maybe you can. But if you can't run it here, I don't like. I used WX widget 1 year before. And when this became free, I came immediately back to MFC because I didn't like the WX widgets. But maybe it's partly because I always used MFC before. Maybe I just didn't want to learn it. I don't know, but no, it doesn't. No, come on, man. MFC is nothing more. It's a Win API programming with classes. That's what it is. It's Win API. Okay, it's Win API programming, which is made a little bit simpler. So you use classes instead of the C programming. That's what it is, and many people like Win API actually. Okay, I go back now here. Yeah, exactly. MFC is, that's the way to say. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. That's the thing. MFC is a wrapper on. Yeah, so it's very, very good. No, there's nothing wrong with MFC. It's a wrapper. It makes the Windows programming easier. That's what it is. It's a simple wrapper actually. It's a very simple wrapper. I can show you soon. Okay, I go back now to this. Okay, so I'm gonna pass that that device context into this throw function, and now I'm gonna throw those buttons here. I'm gonna pass that CDC there. Okay. I forgot to do the for loop here. Okay, so now I need to do the for loop. This one throws only one of them. So let's go cracking. So the pen The pen can be outside the for loop, but all of this thing here needs to be inside the for loop. So I'm gonna copy that for loop from here and put it here. So okay, so yeah, and the pen will be changed to old pen here. And then okay, so so there's a rectangle. Yeah, okay, the rectangle is already there, so I'm gonna just copy out those because we already know what the rectangle is, what the rectangle is. It's gonna be rectangles and then I. Okay, so yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you need cross-platform development, you need to use it in a Linux, Mac, Windows. Then WX widgets is very good. Yeah, of course. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah. So, but if you are doing only for Windows, I like MFC. Yeah, but you know, it's a matter of opinion, right? We can't say it's a fact. It's a matter of opinion. So that is my opinion, and I have right to have my own opinion. Okay. Okay. So now let's put const. I don't know if this size should be done outside. Somebody help me. Does the size needs to be, is it best to define outside the for loop this size or put it there? Because I don't know how the compiler is gonna, the assembly language, is it gonna copy that thing, or is it always calling this thing? I think it's always calling this thing. Although the compiler might be very wise. Anyway, I'm gonna put size of the vector here. Can I just use size? And then I'm gonna put the size of this array there. So size. I don't know if this. I never investigated this properly. That do I need to do this size outside here, or can I just put this size there? Well, it doesn't matter if it's 5 elements, but if you have 10 million elements, is it gonna always compile this size here as well? Okay, so it's like that, and now it works. Okay, so now let me run it now. There's an error. What is it? Oh, it's complaining. It's complaining. Okay, I'll tell you what this one is, by the way. It's complaining because this size is unsigned integer, right? And this is an integer, right? And I'm using this new C++ initialization, so it's complaining that the type is different. So I need to change this type. I don't want to do. I just put auto now here. Sorry, that will fix the problem. Okay, so it compiles. So let me run it now. Thumbs up. Yeah, I'm good, isn't it? Did you see that? But why is it the width is not correct, isn't the width the width doesn't look correct. Why is the width like that? I think I made some mistake. Let me see. There's some kind of mistake now. No, that's not correct. Left is X, top is right is CX, top bottom is CY. What am I doing wrong here? Yeah, you can watch it. Yeah, you can watch it later. It's gonna be stored. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be saved. What am I doing wrong here now? So the left is 50. The top is What am I doing wrong here? If I put here 200, what happens? I want to fix this. Aha! Aha, it kind of works, isn't it? It almost works. But. So is this wrong? This, if I put 200 there, what happens? Aha, so the, okay, I think the width, I mean the height is wrong. I think the height is wrong. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? So left is X. Left is X. Okay. The right is here it goes wrong. Here it goes wrong. The right should be left plus the width here. It should be the left. Sorry. It should be the the direct left plus the width. Okay. Yeah, that went wrong. I put back to 100. Yeah, that looks correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, let's continue. So, okay, so now I'm gonna click one of these, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay, I'm gonna now create a button. We're gonna do the button thing. So I'm gonna quickly create the button now, and we're gonna have a button and edit box. So let me create a button first. I have another project here, by the way. I'm gonna use this other project. I made this video before, so I'm gonna use this. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat here. I create this buttons program before. Maybe I can run it. This is old YouTube video. Yeah, you see. I created this one before, okay? So I'm gonna just cheat and copy code from here. So where's the button? So there's the button. Okay, I'm gonna copy the button from there. Okay, bye, see you later. Okay, so I'm gonna put that button. Yeah, you can watch it later, this video. I'm gonna put that button now there. And let's now create the button. And so where is my... Yeah, so I'm gonna go now and create the button. There is the code. So we need to do the creation of the button in the, well, onCreate function. So I need to find the onCreate function here. Do we have that? Just gonna type here onCreate. We don't have that. So I need to add that onCreate from here. View. And properties. And I think it's... was it Windows message thing? Is this virtual function or is this a Windows message? I don't remember. Aha. I think it's... Let me try. I think it's the Windows message on create. So we go to messages and then create. I think it's this one. Indicates the Windows is being created. It's being created. Okay, so it must be that. There we go. And on create. That's when the window has been created, I guess. We have that function on create here. We didn't have that in the other one. Why is that? It is. I missed that. It is there also. Okay, so it's the same. Okay, so let's create that. Let's create that thingy. I'm gonna copy that thing from there, and I'm gonna place it here as well. So it's gonna go here. Okay, and that's gonna be just call just put hi. Okay, so it's a push button, and I'm just gonna create it first, and then I'm gonna worry about it later, what I'm gonna do with it. So this IDC button, how did I create that? That's the ID of this. Yeah, okay, I use that same. It's the ID of that button. So I'm gonna put that into the H file here. That's the ID of the button. It's called IDC button. Like that. Okay. Okay, let's run. I think it's showing. Is it showing it by default, that button? No, it's not. You have to say show window after that. So you need to say show, otherwise it doesn't show the thing. So let's see if we can see that button. Yee-hoo! There it is. The button is there. Yee-hoo! Yee-hoo! So now this is the button we're gonna put on the right hand side of the box here. So if I click here, I'm gonna place that button there and put some information into that button. Okay, so but by the way, we're not gonna show it by default. The other thing I'm gonna create is the edit box. So let me create the edit box as well, because we're gonna have two kind of things. So it's gonna be cedit, I think, and I'm gonna call it edit box. So how do I create the edit box? I don't remember, but it might be very similar. Create. I don't remember this. Rectangle parent. Yeah, seems to be pretty straightforward. Sorry, I'm gonna actually go now quickly check the create function from the documentation. So I'm gonna MFC cedit. I'm gonna check the create function. What do I need to pass here? There it is. The style specifies the control style. Apply different styles. What are the styles we can put there? Div style. Apply the Windows style. Aha, I guess these are the common styles, kind of. Aha, like this. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So in our case, we're gonna just create a child visible tab stop border. Okay, like that. Let's take those. Okay, I'll just copy this line from here. Okay, so it's not gonna be multi-line, it's gonna be single line. Visible. Okay, tab stop border. Does this one have what kind of? Okay, I'm not gonna worry about the styles too much now. I'm just gonna create just random style. Tab stop border. Okay. And then yeah, let's just throw it in a random place like that, and that ID is okay, I'm gonna create similarly ID here, and it's gonna be IDC edit, and I'm gonna make it 102, and I'm gonna put it there as well. Okay, and now let's just let's just run this now. We're gonna see both of them. Oh, there it is. Ooh, look at this. I'm good. Is it? Ooh, give me thumbs up now. Wow, it's so nice to see this edit box here. Okay, so let's continue now. Okay, so one thing is that we're not gonna show it here. So I'm gonna remove that visible because it's gonna be hidden first. Okay, because we're gonna show it later. But both of them are now able to. We can show both of them now. Okay, let's start cracking. Let's start cracking now. So next thing is to do is that when we are pressing one of these rectangles, when I'm clicking here on the left button here, we need to draw that button here, okay? And we're gonna use SendMessage to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna use the SendMessage or PostMessage, and now we are learning the SendMessage thing soon. So we need to put the L button down message handler. Yes, there is somewhere. Yeah, if you do it in a dialog box, if you do it in a dialog, I saw you. If you go to the solution resource view, and then you're gonna go here in a dialog. You need to go to dialog box here. So here you can do it. Here you can, but you can only do it for dialogs. Yeah, you can only do it for dialog. You can't do it for SDI window, the white window. You can add from here, like this. But it needs to be a dialog. You need to go here and add a dialog from here. Okay, so that's great. So let's go back now and what was I doing? Yeah, we need to add that. We need to add that message handler for the left button thing. So there's a messages here. So let's take the left button down. So left button down is there. It is left button down. So yeah, left button down. Okay. So here we're gonna check that which rectangle the user clicked. And how do you do that? How do you do that? Anybody know? How do you check that which rectangle we hit? How do you know which rectangle we hit? You hit the rectangle here. Let's say that you hit. Let's say that I hit this. Let's say I hit this one here. I click here. How do we know that it's the fourth rectangle? How do you know that? That's the question. How do we know which rectangle was hit? Okay, well, it's quite in MFC. It's quite simple actually to do. There is a ready-made function. It's gonna hit test. The rectangle can test. No. There's a very simple way. The rectangle knows if it's hit. The crect knows. Yeah, I did it here. Yeah, there's the mouse down. Okay, and here we need to check that which rectangle is hit. So you can just loop all the rectangles and ask them that did I hit you? So we're gonna do the for loop again. We're just gonna check that which rectangle was hit. Okay, so copy that for loop from there. Move that. Yeah, it's very simple. MFC has a nice one here. So you just simply gonna say here that if rectangle, and then you're gonna check that ith rectangle is pointing. It's called pointing rect. So you're gonna just put that point. That's the point where we hit. You're just gonna check that if that if the point is in the rectangle. Well, I use always white. Yeah, maybe I need to test that, but I never really used it. Okay, so point in rectangle. So if the point is in rectangle, we found it, and now we know which rectangle is hit. Okay. I guess what we can do next is that we let me think. Actually, I'm gonna create a function now. I'm gonna create a new function which is called void. How do you call it? We hit the rectangle, and then we are also showing the control on the right hand side. How do we call that? Rectangle hit. What's it called? Rectangle hit test. Is rectangle hit something like that? Rectangle hit. When we hit the rectangle, and I'm gonna create that function here. There. And so this function is doing all of that actually. So I'm gonna pass that point there. So I'm gonna copy that point variable, and I'm gonna put it there. Put a const reference, and then I'm gonna put it here as well. We're gonna pass that point into this function, and then I'm gonna do everything there. So I'm just gonna call it actually from here. So I'm gonna pass that point. There. I'm gonna cut that code from here. Do everything there. So okay. So right. Now let me think. So now we need to know if some of them got hit. Okay. But you know it's possible that none of them got hit, right? It's possible that when we click on the window, that none of the rectangles got hit. So yes or no. Okay. So in that case, I think we could make a Boolean value here that give me just 1 second. Let me go fancy. Let me go fancy here, okay? Let me go fancy. I will create an optional here. Just want to learn to use that, you know. Optional. Okay. So I'm gonna create an optional here. I know maybe it's an how do you say? std optional. And what's wrong with this? I use it so rarely, so I kind of... What am I doing wrong now? Course. C++ optional. It's correct. Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. Optional. Why is it complaining? I think I know. I think I know why it's complaining. Why is it complaining? So I put, okay, let me first type it. Let's see if it complains. So I'm gonna put here the so it's gonna be the index of the found int hit rectangle index. So it seems to be complaining. Okay, I think I know why this happens. We need to go and check if the compiler is correct. You see there's the problem. Look at this, by the way, everybody. If you are watching this, look at this. You might get the same problem in the future. So you need to go, if you get that kind of problem that it doesn't find the C++, the new C++ stuff, you need to go to properties, and there is that C++ language standard, and just choose all configurations and here the platform, but I'm using 64. So now maybe just go to the preview, let the latest, this one. Take the latest compiler. Okay. I think it's gone soon. Huh? Yeah, it's gone. You see, I was right. Yeah, so optional. And now we're gonna put that index here. The index is, we're just gonna store the index, which rectangle it hit. If it hits some rectangle, we're gonna store that what is the index of that rectangle. And then we're gonna say here that break. I don't like breaks, but in this case I'm gonna use break because this for loop is so small. Okay. And then I'm gonna check that if this optional has a value. If the optional has a value, then we know that it hit one of them. That's why we use optional here. We can check that if we put some value there. If we didn't put any value, that means that it didn't hit anything, and then we do nothing. Okay, so now we're gonna hear. Okay, so now this is the thing. So now we go to the main thing. Now I was just doing all kind of side things here. Now we're gonna go to the main thing, sending the message. Okay, sending the message. Okie dokie. So now the real thing starts. And maybe this video is too long already, but I better do something. I need to maybe do part 2, but I'm gonna do a little bit now. I'm gonna do the send message here, and then for the button, maybe for the button, and then that's it, and then continue on the next video. So what we need to do now here is I'm gonna only do the button now. Okay, I'm gonna put the button there. I'm gonna send the message to the button. So how can we do that? Well, we need to. Well, obviously things can be done in many ways, but I think the best thing to do is here that create your own button class first. So we're gonna create our own button class, and we're gonna inherit it from the C button, and we're gonna then use this own button class. So you're gonna go to the project class wizard, and then you're gonna go add class. It's kind of very strange that it's here. I don't understand why MFC does it so difficult, in a so difficult way that you need to go here. Anyway, there's an add class, an MFC class, and now you're gonna put here that how do we gonna call that C? How do we gonna call that button? I'm gonna call it rectangle button. Okay, rectangle button, because it's gonna be on the right hand side of the rectangle. So I'm just gonna call it rectangle button, for example. Kind of random names, it doesn't. And here we're gonna choose C button. So we're gonna inherit it from the button. It's gonna be a button. Okay, inherit it from the button, and everything else is okay. So press OK. Okay, and there it is. So now we have MFC C button, and we are going to use this one instead now. So we're simply gonna now just we're gonna include that file here. So it's gonna be the C button. Oh, I put that C there. I don't like that C there. Okay, I'm gonna remove that C. So you just click twice here and remove that C. Okay. What is it doing? What happened now? What on earth I did? Anyway, what was that? I hope I didn't delete anything, but what was that? I just did like this. Oh, this action cannot be complete. Okay. Why is it giving me this box? Anyway, I don't think it destroyed anything. Okay, so now let's go back here, and I'm gonna remove that C. So now instead of using the MFC C button, we are going to use the one we just created here, which is the C rect button. And I'm gonna like that. It still works, but now we have extra things. We can add extra things in that button class now. We can change that button, how it behaves. We have more complicated button now. So let me show that button. We can just double check that we can still see it. It's the same button, but we can add more things now. So yeah, you see the button is still there. It works exactly like the previous button, but now we can add more things there. So let's do the first version, and I'm gonna in the first version I'm gonna just okay, I'm gonna show you the bad version first. How not to do this, probably. I mean, well, you can do it. Actually, I can't say you can't do it like this, but there are two ways to send that information into the button now. At least two ways. And let's see the first way. The first way is, yeah, well, obviously we already know the button here, so we can just contact the button from here. And so let me create here a new function which is called void how do I call it? How do I call it? We're gonna print the coordinate into the button. No, I'm gonna call it show, just show, okay, show, and the show function is gonna have C point, the coordinate. It's gonna be the mouse coordinate, just point. It's gonna be the point which we're gonna draw, and then we're gonna have. And then the other one we need to have, what is the other one we need to have? Oh yeah, the rectangle where we're gonna show it. Yes, I think so, yes. So rectangle where we're gonna show this button. Yeah, the rectangle where we're gonna show this button. I think so. So const, okay. So we're gonna print this point, and then this is the position and the size of the button. Let's try that. So I'm gonna go here and implement this function. Okay, so now I'm gonna create the string first. Text, okay, text. What we're gonna print in the button. So text format, and then we're gonna say Unicode string, and then we're gonna say, so it's gonna be I think it's D, integer is D, I think it's D, the integer, and then we're gonna just print the X and the Y of the coordinate like that, and then we're gonna just say that and now we need to put it into the button. So I think it's set text. This is set text, get text, set text. No, it's not set text. Window. Is it window text? Oh, it's set window text. Yeah, there it is. Set window text. I finally got it. Woohoo! Set window text. So what are we gonna put here? Set window text. Okay, so you just put the text there, okay? Done deal. Okay, so now let's call this Let's call this now this function. Let's see what happens. Okie dokie. Actually, we are very close. This one working very close. Remember, I'm not using the send, you know, because the target in this lesson is actually using the send message and post message. Okay, we are not doing it right now. I'm doing it in another way, but it's good to learn 2 different ways to do it. Okay, right? And I will tell you which one is better in which case and what are the benefits and negatives. You know, let's use the first method that we are just using the object. And okay, so let's use this function first. It should be simple. Yeah. So we need to go to that rectangle hit function. And here, if we hit a certain rectangle, then we need to use that rectangle. We need to call that function. We need to take that button, and we can say show. Okay. And then we need to put that point. That's the point. Okay, that's the point. And then we need to put the rectangle. Well, the rectangle is from the vector, isn't it? It's from the vector. Oh, there are 2 things, by the way. I forgot to do the rectangle thing here. Yeah, I forgot to do the rectangle. We put the text, but now we need to place that. We need to place that that button into that position and that size. So let's do the text and then position size. Okay, so so how do we change the button's position and the size? It's a good question, isn't it? I've done this maybe 10 or 50 times in my life, but I keep forgetting it. I think it's move window. There are a couple of ways you can do it. You can use set window position, but I think move window is the way to go. If I remember correctly, that was the best function for this. I think it was called move window. Let's double check. Move window. Okay, it says rectangle. Yeah, I think it's that. So you're just passing a rectangle, isn't it? What is the other version? Oh, this one is even better, isn't it? This one is even better, isn't it? Because there's X and Y, and then there's the width and height. Okay, I think it's move window is the way to go. Yeah, let me try this move window. Okie dokie. So, well, that's the rectangle actually. Now the question is that who is responsible to place that? Who is responsible to calculate? I'm saying that the button should be here, right? This one. Now the question is, I mean, just thinking about it, the programming. This button, okay, that's the position, and this is the size, okay. So the question is that who is responsible to set the position and the size of the button? I mean the position of the button, for example. Who is responsible to do that? That's a good question. Is it the view or is it the button? Who is responsible to defining? Who is responsible to defining this position and the size of the button? Is it the view or is it the button class? Let me think. I'm thinking it's the view. It's not the button. I'm thinking it's the view who tells where do you need to put yourself, and where do you need to put yourself, and also, yeah, it is. No, it's not the button. No, it's not the button, because the button should be, well, that's what I'm thinking, because the button should be just, because the button should be kind of able to be kind of general class. It can, anybody can use that button, not only this system here. I think it's the view, because the side, not the view. The view knows the size. The view knows the size and also the position. So the view knows both of them here. The view knows how big is the rectangle, and the view also knows where the button should go. So the view knows both of them. I have a feeling it should be the view who is doing that. So let me do it like that. So the view, so this is just a dumb class. It's not able to do much. It's just everybody needs to tell where you're gonna go and what you're gonna. So yeah, let me do like that. So I'm just gonna put that rectangle, and now we need to show that. Now we need to show that button. By the way, you need to, because it's hidden, isn't it? The button is hidden at the moment. So we need to show it. So I need to say show window. Okay. Show window, and I need to say that show window and show, like that. Show window show. Okay. We will test it. We will test this in a moment. How much is the time? Yeah, I think we need to finish this soon, but I just finished this button thing and then I'll finish. I need to do section 2. Part 2. Need to do part 2 to finish the edit box and stuff. Okay, so right. So let's calculate now this thing. So the rectangle of the button. Yeah, so let's create a new rectangle here, crect. Rectangle button. Okay, that's the button's rectangle. So let's start building up that thingy. So I'm gonna just copy this one from here and put it there. Does this help at all? Okay, so let's see what kind of so the left, well, it should be easy, isn't it? We have all the information here, so it's gonna be okay. Just a second, just 1 second, please. Okay, I'm gonna go from there. So it's gonna be the rectangle, and it's gonna be the right plus some space, isn't it? Some space. So let me put here space. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it there. Let's say, how many pixels? 15 pixels, 10 pixels. So it's gonna be the, okay, I'm gonna do like this now. I'm gonna say here rectangle. I'm gonna make a reference to the selected rectangle, const rectangle hit rectangle, which will be, because I don't want to keep using this long name, so I'm gonna create that. You know, the reference to the create a new. Why is it complaining? Well, what is it complaining? Matches vector. What am I doing wrong? Crect. What is going wrong there? Um, oh, it's because it's optional. I forgot. It's optional. It's not integer, it's an optional integer, right? So you need to put here star. That's the optional works. Yeah, like that. Okay. Let's continue. So, and now to hit rect, we're gonna use that hit rectangle here. So hit rectangle right. It's the right plus 10 pixels. The top will be the same as the hit rectangle top. Okay. The right oh, the right will be, well, the right will be the left plus the size, the width of the button, which is something. I'm just putting here just number here. So let's say for example 80, and then the bottom will be the width. It will be the top plus something, let's say 40, and then we will show that. So I'm gonna put that rectangle, yeah, like that. Okay, and it's gonna show it. Okay, so is this gonna work now? So if I go to the, yeah, it might work now. It might work now. So let's go and compile and go. Oh, I want to remove that high. Go away. How about now? Moment of truth. Yeah, I'm good. Did you see that? Yeah. And if I click here, aha, it doesn't, if I click outside, it doesn't. Yeah. Okay. And now you can click the button from here, and you can do, obviously you can use this button now to, if you click this button you can do something, obviously, right? But we're not gonna do that. I'm just showing that it will record the position. It will change the text according to where I click. That's the whole point here. Okay, let me quickly make it nicer, that if I click outside we will remove that. Yeah, let's do that way. If I click here, it will remove that. If there is something, it will remove that. So how do you do that? Okay, so I think we gonna put it in the same function, right? Rectangle hit. Okay, let's just add it there. Okay, so if it hit the rectangle, then we're gonna throw the button, right? Else if it didn't hit anything, then we're gonna simply we're gonna hide that button. So that's gonna be just yeah, I'm gonna create another. I have a reason, by the way. It doesn't make any sense at the moment why I'm doing this like this, but you will see later. I'm gonna put here hide. Okay, just hide, and no, I'm not gonna destroy that. The logic in this program is that I always keep it. Yeah, you could destroy it, that's right, but in this program we're not gonna worry about that kind of thing. It's not essential here. It's not the point. So I'm gonna just keep them alive, but I'm just gonna hide them. So I'm gonna say hide here. Okay, and now we're gonna call that function here. So I'm gonna say here that button hide. Simple as that, right? Okay, so run. You see. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, this is the live thing that I wasn't, you know, it takes time to do it live, so it's quite long this video. So we haven't actually done the main thing yet, which was, again, we want to do the send message, of course, the send message and the post message thing, right? So I think in the next, I'm gonna stop this now, and next time I will quickly create next time the edit box. That's very fast now because we already made the button. So it's gonna be fast to create the edit box. And then we're gonna use the send message and post message, and we will see how they are different. Okie dokie, I think it's better to stop here. It's been long lesson. So okay, see you guys next time, and I can put a message on my community page. I will put the message so that you know a couple of hours before I start, you know when I start the next live session, so you know. Okay, see you next time. See you next time.